Yeah.
Okay. Has it been reclaimed yet? Not yet. Okay. Okay.
Doc, are you
Dr.
on?
Orwell, Doc, sir, are you on? See, the host has been given to you.
Hello?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Doc. Please, can you kindly make... Hello, Doc. Can you hear me? Please, can you kindly make Mr. John the host? Thank you, sir. Yes, Doctor, if you can hear me, can you kindly make Mr. John the host? Doctor, sir? Can you hear me, Doctor, sir?
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, Mr. Manuel. Okay, Mr. Manuel.
Yes, he's the host. I just made him the host.
Okay, he's the host. Okay, great. Okay, Mr. John, sir, you are the host now. Over to you, sir.
All right.
Sorry for that delay.
No problems. All right. So, good evening once again. Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, sir. You can see your screen, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks to Mr. Uche for this opportunity and the CCI team. As introduced, my name is John Ugu with the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. Just a brief, before I go into this, I know we don't have much time, but let me do a brief introduction. So the exchange licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Nigeria to trade 4 asset classes. We trade gold contracts, solid minerals for gold, oil and gas, currency, then agriculture. And what basically we're trying to standards into the commodities trading business of Nigeria to see how we can bring in more investors and standardize contracts for investors basically globally. And the CFD business is something that the Nigerian country is not it's not new in the Nigerian economy per se. You have forex trading has been going on for a while, and we are trying to develop our own strategically by establishing an exchange. We know the forex market is huge, and what we are just basically tapping from what the developed economy is actually doing. But what capacity do we have to develop contracts that can be generated from Nigeria locally? And that is what the exchange is trying to do. We are still at the first phase of contract listings on the exchange. And with more partnerships and support by the Nigerian market, we look to expand into a global scale and see how we can bring on board bigger contracts that can be traded and with the desired amount of liquidity for instruments. Now, this evening, without wasting further time, we're going to be talking about the Eko Gold Coin. Now, the way the coin is a 50-gram weighted coins, and a picture has been displayed on the screen. It's 99.99, it's 24 carats, and it is 38 millimeters in diameter. Now, these coins, as we speak, is seated in a vault in Nigeria. It's here in Nigeria, it's in Lagos. And we have contracts that has been listed on the exchange to be traded, being backed by these coins. Now, the way we operate is this. The exchange do not own the products. We are just the platform where these contracts are traded. those that are in the gold business, into trade and in the business of, will approach the exchange through their financial advisors, in this case, security traders, the brokers in Nigeria. They would go through our onboarding requirements, and once they meet our requirements, then we onboard them and their products on the platform of the exchange. Now, this is a product of one of our aggregators, IAC Global and TradeNet Limited. But I'll be speaking today in the capacity of the exchange, not in the capacity of who owns the gold, just as the capacity of the institution where these contracts are traded. Now, for those that want to partake in the contract, you have to come in through a broker. And thankfully, our very good friend, Mr. Uche, have partnered with one of the institutions that is registered, fully registered with the exchange, and we can partake and trade this gold contract on the floor of LCFE. Now, to do this, you just have to comply with our rules and regulations, comply with our onboarding requirements, and you are good to go. 1 unit of the contract is, the lot sizes are, minimum lot size is 50 grams. So, 1 gram, because the coins is 50 grams. So we have split this for retail investors that are looking to trade gold. You can buy 1 unit of the 50 gram. And in this case, if you are buying a unit of this 50 gram, you are not taking possession of the gold. You're only speculating in the price of gold. You're going to hold these coins and you buy it low today and you wish to sell it high when the price of gold appreciates in the future. But if you're looking in itself, if you want to take the physical delivery, then you have to buy the multiples of 50 grams. And once you do this, once you buy 50 grams and you activate the process of withdrawal with your broker, wherever your location, we can deliver these coins to you. The broker in charge of the transaction would get in touch with you to know your preferred location, to know your preferred delivery location, and you will have to take responsibility for the delivery. If you want it in your doorstep, they deliver to you. And as we said, it's a 24 karat gold and it's 99.99. So the gold business is actually one that has been quite interesting, because since the commencement of this listing and trading on the exchange, it's been an exciting journey. The investors, right? I believe the audience in this particular webinar is not new to the gold business, because gold is a very popular instrument on the CFD in the forex trading platform, and we try to price ours similar to what is happening globally. For these coins is the LBMA, and we know the LBMA is responsible for fixing them gold prices globally. But because this gold have to undergo a few processes, the gold, surprisingly, and to our own advantage, was mined in Nigeria. So these gold coins were mined in Nigeria, but they had to be taken to Dubai for minting. So they were taken out of the country, they were refined, and they were minted into coins. If you take a look at the coins, there are about 3 images. We have 3 coins here with 3. We have 3 coins with 3 images embedded on them. There's the Eko link bridge. All these are sentimental attachments to this. Over time, would appreciate the value of the coin in terms of market acceptance and liquidity in the market. We have on one side of the coin the Eko link bridge, and we have the 3 wise men on the other side. On another coin, there is the 3 wise men and images of commodities in Nigeria. We've got maize, paddy, soya bean, and the likes of them. So these coins were all taken out of the country to Dubai, to be precise, to the Emirates refinery to be refined, and they were brought back in. And you know, to get the actual price for these commodities, we know the basic benchmark is the LBMA price, but the cost of processing, the cost of logistics, cost of insurance to and fro Dubai would definitely, the aggregator in question would definitely incur more cost, and it's going to add that basically to the price of these coins. So we say that these coins today are priced at a premium, and irrespective of what the gold prices are doing globally, I know the price of gold is somewhat in the low side. It's actually it's I wouldn't say it's crashing though, but we try to mirror exactly what the LBMA is doing, but with a few other percentages on top of that price of gold. So in summary, I believe I have a presentation that covers a little bit of gold pricing, Eko Gold Coin valuation and pricing. And I have given a summary of exactly what this is all about. Because Mr. Uchi promised, kind of said it's going to be a very short conversation. So historically, the price gold is not a new product. Gold has been in the market for over hundreds of years. But what's very important to gold investors is the price. Because once the price is right, investors would actually come into the market, take advantage, and take a position where they should be. Either they are buying or they are selling. And the gold pricing has been done. The gold market is priced daily, 10:30 a.m. and 3. So before the LBMA, there used to be a gold pricing benchmark, which was established in the 1990s. But the LBMA took over in 2015 to make it a more technology-friendly process. So the LBMA right now, through the Intercontinental Exchange in the US, is in charge of gold pricing. So we know basically what determines the price of gold globally: the demand, the supply, the currency inflation, and the interest rates. Just as the first speaker said, there are a few factors that actually determine the price of gold and influence whatever position you'll be taking on gold. So the Queen's death, the Russian and Ukraine war and all that, global insecurities, and basically the recession that is actually rampaging. The entire world is actually going through a lot of downtime, and as all this affects the valuation of gold. And if all these factors, the exchange is taking note of all this. So we're not just trying to build a market separate from what the international community is doing. We're trying to actually mirror and be very close attached to what is happening globally. So we do not create a market that is not trustworthy, or that is not transparent, or that it cannot do not protect investors' finances. So in a nutshell, the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange is just trying to promote a transparent market where commodities are priced and price is discovered in a very transparent matter, in a very transparent manner. So we are looking in these conversations we are having, we're just trying to bring in more participants into the market, more liquidity into the market, and more products into the market. Right now we have gold coins. In a few months, we'll be having a gold bars, and we are looking to expand into other exchange traded contracts for investors to take advantage of locally. So we are encouraging those that invest in the CFD market to also look into the products that have been traded locally in our own local domain. Yeah, there is a security. Your funds are safe. You have been registered by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The exchange is privately owned. It is not a government exchange. It's Lagos Commodities. It is not a Lagos state-owned exchange. It is privately run. We've got 50 private shareholders. So there is nothing about the government in this, and we are all for the protection of investors. So I believe this is where I would call it a day, and I look forward to having more participants on the exchange. Thank you for this opportunity, and good evening once again.
Wow, 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 wow. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear guest, Mr. John. Thank you so much for that amazing expose on the Eko Gold Coin. I want to believe that we've got some value in this meeting so far. Amazing expose. Wow, it's wonderful to know that the Eko Gold Coin is 99.1% purity from Nigeria. That's amazing. Can you beat that? Wow, that's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. 99. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, audience? Oh, wow, wow. You cannot just let this go. You've got to cash in. You've got to get in. You've got to get involved. Now is the time. Now is the time. Wow. Thank you once again, Mr. John. Thank you for that amazing expose. Okay, so you're welcome, sir. Just in case you have some questions, you can go ahead and post these questions in the chat box so that we can attend to them appropriately. We can attend to them at the appropriate time. All right, having said that, may we now welcome our third speaker for tonight, an amazing personality, someone who you would always love to hear speak, someone who is so highly honored, so highly respected in the Lagos Commodity and Futures Exchange. Let's make welcome. He is the head of operations, the Lagos Commodity and Futures Exchange. And let's make welcome Dr. Allwell Omuna Ehila. He's going to speak to us tonight. Doctor, are you right there? Are you right there, sir?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, welcome, sir. Thank you. You have the platform right now, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you,
sir.
Very much. Thank you. Thank you. Let me start, John. Now that you are the host, please can you share my slide?
Okay, Mr. John, sir, can you kindly make Dr. Allwell the host?
No, you can share my slide. Yeah, you share my slide.
Yeah. So I'll be sharing Dr. slides.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and I want to first start by thanking CCI traders for this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Now, my role here is to talk on the role of Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange and the process of buying and selling and delivery of gold. My colleague John has touched on this topic. At least he has been able to explain to you the features of the gold that is being sold or being traded on the exchange. Let me say this: that gold has become right from the issue of exchanges. Gold has become an issue, a currency, so to say. It has been more, even the dollar, the currencies we trade today, or the currencies we exchange today, have all been backed by gold right from the beginning. So it's only now that all these currencies are standing on their own, and we're seeing that already because of inflation, global inflation, gold has become prominent again because it's a safe haven for to mitigate against inflation. At the end of the day, it's a store of value. So that is why people are now going back to gold. People buy gold, keep it, because the value of their money is stored by that gold. If even when inflation is doing 15%, 20%, as the case may be, the value of their gold is still storing the value of their money. So that's why gold is a precious ornament. As said, apart from it being an ornament used for jewelries, used for decorations, used for crowns, and all the rest of it. That's it. So and that is the premise, and that's the basis under which Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange has started rolling out the gold assets under the solid mineral asset class. Now the issue is, for me, how are you going to buy and sell gold on the platform? As an individual, for instance, your option is today in Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, we have about 43 dealing member firms. These dealing member firms have been registered to trade all the 4 asset classes that are on the exchange. In other words, like my colleague mentioned, agricultural commodities. At the moment, we have about 12 agricultural commodities ranging from paddy rice, soya beans, sorghum, yellow maize, sesame seed, cassava, ginger, cocoa, share butter, share nut, and all the rest of them, about 12 of them in all, that the Securities and Exchange Commission has approved for to be traded on the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. So that is that's the fourth. On the solid mineral asset class, we have gold, which we are currently discussing. Now, for gold, how do you buy gold? So what you do as an individual is to go to any of these 43 dealing member firms and register and open an account. They would help you to go to register you and open an account for you under the CSCS platform. And so you have your what we call clearinghouse number. You are just like you have under equities. And so your account is open. So your account is open. And once your account is open, you can now give them a mandate to buy for you, or where you want to sell for you. So that's as an individual. Now, as a corporate entity, you can, if you want to buy gold and sell gold, you can still follow the same process to open an account as a corporate account with the dealing member firm, and they would, and at the end of the day, when the account is open, you will go ahead and they will equally go ahead for you to open an account for you under the CSCS platform, and then you will have what we call the CHN number, and you can now give them a mandate to trade, to either buy for you or sell for you if you have the stock, if you have the gold in your position. So that's exactly how you do. But there's another, John, okay, let me have the slides now. So there's another process, the onboarding process that you first slide. There's the onboarding process for corporate entities. So under this, the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange has a set of rules that regulates the entry, the admission, the entry, and the sustenance and of members, dealing member firms, aggregators, and those who and other corporate entities that want either to raise capital or want to trade on the floor. So there's a set of rules that we call the trading rules of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, and they govern the admission, the quotation, suspension, and removal of exchange-traded commodity contracts, certificates, notes, and instruments from the official list of the exchange. So a company applying for admission of its commodity contracts, its certificates, its notes, or instruments on the exchange shall comply with all these rules. And the exchange might, at its discretion, waive some of these rules, depending on how they assess the qualification of the company. And SCSA retains absolute discretion to accept or reject applications for onboarding of spot contracts, or even for the onboarding of the corporate entity. In the first place, for instance, the entity itself, the company itself, has to be onboarded on the exchange. That means, using the word, it has to be admitted, and the rules specifies the requirements for, or what you might call listing requirements for that entity, the company, to be onboarded on the exchange itself. If you're a dealing member firm, if you're an aggregator and you want to be admitted, onboarded on the exchange, you follow that process. In other words, it requires that you submit issues like your CSCS registration documents, and your directors, full disclosure in a nutshell, full disclosure and you meet up those requirements. Once you meet up those requirements, you will now be onboarded on the exchange, on the official list of the exchange. At the end of being onboarded as a company, then the next process is I want to trade gold, or I want to list my gold on the exchange, or I want to raise capital on the exchange, or I want to trade my contracts on the exchange. In that respect, you now submit the full disclosure for evaluation to the exchange, all the features, all the requirements of the exchange will be made on those contracts, and this thing will pass through the listing and quotation committees. Just next slide, please. Next slide. So aggregators who intend to trade spot commodities through the commodity broker on our platform without listing a commodity backed note need only to be onboarded by a dealing member firm. So the registration of the methods of onboarding of spot contracts on SF are through registration of dealing member firms, introduction and onboarding of issuer to the exchange, which I've mentioned, renewal, review and approval of onboarding by the Commodity and Listing Quotation Committee. So all the features of the contract, all the features of the notes, all the features of whatever commodity-backed instrument that you want to list, they will be assessed internally by the operations department of the exchange. When the operations department of the exchange find them satisfactory that they meet up the listing requirements of the exchange, they will now introduce that issuer to the listing and quotation committee for review. The listing and quotation committee will now formally invite the dealing member firm, the issuing house that is packaging the issue, and the issuer of the issue to the meeting of the listing and quotation committee. And at the listing of the quotation committee, they will be able to evaluate and interview the issuer and the dealing member firm and the issuing house as to what the purpose and the objective the issue want to achieve, the economic benefits, the demand for such an issue, and all the features of the exchange, and the cash flow and the returns that will be made once the issue is traded, and the demand structure of the issue. So these are some of the things listed. I have here below are some of the steps for onboarding aggregators on the exchange. So I've mentioned some of these, not needless to enumerate some of them. Some of them are require that you satisfy the listing requirements of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. Some of them include the company profile, certificate of incorporation, on and on and on. So the list is there. And so once a company wants to do this, it would write to the using the issuing house to write to the exchange to demand for the full list of the listing requirements. And these include what you are seeing on the screen. And so it will be given to them, and they will have tried one by one to meet those requirements. And as they meet those requirements, they will now be called to the Listing and Quotation Committee for interview. And at the Listing and Quotation Committee interview, then the Listing and Quotation Committee would appraise them, and at the end of the day, they would either declare them approved or not approved. And once they are not approved, they will go back to meet some of the inadequacies that Listing and Quotation Committee would have detected in their submission. But if they are approved, that means they will go ahead and it will be their contract or their issue or their notes or any of the commodity-backed instruments which they are itching to list will be listed on the exchange. Or, so, for instance, gold. For instance, the aggregator for gold, they are listed on the exchange. These are some of the So if you talk of gold, for instance, gold has its own specifications. For instance, as on the screen, you are seeing it on the screen, a copy of self-keeping receipt with full value of metal to be onboarded, license to possess and purchase minerals, small-scale mining license, mineral buying center license, mineral export permit, reconnaissance permit, exploration license, and on and on. So these are some of the requirements that you are expected to meet before you are invited by the Listing and Quotation Committee. And at the Listing and the Quotation Committee, you undergo the necessary appraisal, the necessary interview, the necessary evaluation that the members of the committee will evaluate you according to the rules of the exchange. And at the end of the day, they would just like I've mentioned earlier, they will either approve you or not approve you. So these are some. John, next slide, please. So I have earlier mentioned some of these things: onboarding, commodity instrument registration, and quotation process. So generally, in the onboarding of commodity instrument requirement, generally the important partner there that would have done the comprehensive work is the issuing house or transactional advisor, as the that's the nomenclature we use in Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. The transactional advisor will package the issue, will assess the issue, will do proper evaluation of the exchange, proper advisory role on the exchange, proper economic packaging of the issues. So and the analysis of the issue of the instrument and its relevance and its benefits and even the demand and equally the supply of it. So once that is done, it is then passed on to the exchange for approval, for internal evaluation. Once that is done, it goes through the same route of being invited to for interview with the Listing and Quotation Committee. And the Listing and Quotation Committee examines and evaluates that, and at the end of the day, they would issue the approval or non-approval. Next slide, please. So these are the stages that I have already. It's needless to undergo to reiterate this again because I've already mentioned them in my discussions. Go ahead, next slide. Now, this is the transaction flow for solid minerals of gold, for instance. An aggregator of gold or gold aggregator at the end of the day will aggregate the gold, and the transaction advisor packages it, and it is moved on, and then it is moved on to the vote. The vote, just like we have done now, we're under the Eko Gold Coin. The aggregator has been able to mint the gold coin, mint it to the size and specifications as been highlighted by my colleague John. So, and it's been moved to a vote. And then if a typical dealing member firm that wants to buy would, a typical investor will meet their dealing member firm and give them a mandate to buy. Meanwhile, the aggregator also has its dealing member firm that will sell for them. And once that demand is brought by the dealing member firm for the buying investor, that they will come to the floor. And of course, by now, what happens is that because of technology and VPN access, people stay in their offices and can trade from their offices, but they will be connected to the LCFE trade matching engine, which is at the center of the flow you are seeing there, and linked up to the Central Securities Depository, which is CSCS PLC. And then this CSCS is linked to the settlement bank, which is this, and then to no, CSCS is linked to NIMS, and NIMS is linked to the settlement bank. So when the investor gives a mandate to the dealing member firm, buying dealing member firm, that investor, the dealing member firm, executes that mandate, and the dealing member firm for the seller, for the aggregator, makes the offer at the matching of the price. For instance, if the price is 45,200 for a gram of gold, and the investor, buying investor, would have asked or mandated his broker to buy for him at 45,200, and possibly from the selling dealing member firm, there is an offer for gold 1 gram at 45,200. You find out that the offer, the demand and the offer, the bid and the offer will match, and that transaction is executed. As is executed, within 2 days of that execution, the account, the trade is settled, and that means the account of the buyer is debited, while the account of the seller is credited. And at that point, all that you are seeing in this flow is properly executed. And so the buyer now has his 1 gram, credited to his 1 gram of gold, credited to his account, and then the seller has his account credited with the money. But what happens, like John has said, is that with 1 gram that you have bought, you can't take delivery because the coins are minted in 50 grams. But if the buyer had given a mandate for 50 grams, and at the end of the day, that trade is consummated, the point is that the buyer can now ask for delivery. The buyer can now take his transaction certificate to the vote, and the vote owners will deliver it to the buyer, and the buyer will take possession of his gold of 50 grams. So that's in a nutshell what the transaction, how the transaction takes place. So next slide. So there are different roles and responsibilities of parties. Of course, the assayer tests and verifies the gold. That's this thing before even it is stored in the vote, and that gives the grade, the purity, and the carat of the gold. Of course, once it is 99.99, which is what we have, it is 24 karat gold, and other levels of purity have their different carats. So the vote company stores and issues its SKR for gold transaction, because it is the SKR that indicates that they have the gold and of this particular purity, particular size in the vote, and that is what is dematerialized at the trading floor of the CSCS and brought to the exchange, and the brokers trade on it, because the brokers do not bring the physical gold to the floor. What they bring to the floor is the dematerialized SKR, indicating, symbolizing that the gold is in the vote. And it's only when that transaction is executed and all the parties settle that the buyer can now use that the vote is to now use that his buying certificate to go to the vote to get his gold to deliver to him. Somebody is asking how is it whether this vote is guaranteed, the safety of the gold is guaranteed. Yes, the safety of gold is guaranteed because this gold are stored in the banks and in the bank votes, the same way your money, the same way your certificates, the same way your precious ornaments, the same way your treasures are stored in the bank vaults, so also the gold is stored in the bank vault. So it is guaranteed. It is not ordinary vault in ordinary company that is the gold is stored. So logistics, we are talking of transport, the logistics that transport gold to the port. Next slide. Thank you very much. I think we have been able to highlight some of the basic processes that you can take in buying and in selling and delivery of gold on the floor of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. Our appeal is that I'm sure I've heard it, and people are saying, is it possible that it's physical gold? Yes, we have, just like we have mentioned here, we have been licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission to trade gold. And that gold is physical gold, 99.99 percent purity, 24 karat gold. And that's the purest level of the gold. And it is physical. So if you are able to buy up to 50 grams, it will be delivered to you to whatever spot you want it to be delivered. And it's been certified by all the authorities, and that it's of the highest purity. So it is real. It's valuable. It's available. It's what you can see. It's what is tenable. It's a store of value for you. It's something that you can do, and this thing. And even if you don't have up to 50 grams, you can trade. You can be buying what you might call bit by bit until you get to 50 grams. But if you want to speculate on price as well, you can buy maybe less than 50 grams and speculate on the price. As the price moves up, you can sell. That's my submission, and I want to thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, the Honorable Doctor. Thank you so much, Dr. Orwell, for that amazing, once again, the head of operation, Lagos Commodity and the Futures Exchange. Thank you for that expose of the onboarding process. Wow, with Lagos Commodity Futures and Commodity and Futures Exchange. What an amazing expose. I am sure and certainly that we've been able to get some values tonight. I would like to ask, if you have gotten value so far, while we're expecting your questions on the chat box, if you have gotten value so far, can you kindly type value? Let's know. Let's have some feeling tonight. Let's know what your experiencing has been. Let's know what you have been experiencing so far in the meeting. As we are getting closer to the end of this meeting, let's know. I would like to know. Have you gotten value? So far, we had about 3 persons, 3 speakers. Have you gotten value? Okay, thank you, Mr. Steven Garba. Thank you, value. Let's hear from others. Have you gotten value? This is the new one. Value. Wow. That's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Ali Abubakar. Value, thank you so much. This is Galaxy 8220. Not sure what your name is, but thank you so much. Yes, so we have gotten value. Okay, so before we take the question, I'd like to give just 3 minutes for Mr. Emmanuel who would like to harmonize. Some of us will be asking, okay, now after receiving all of this information, how do we make it simple? So I'd like to invite Mr. Emmanuel Ejike to just in 3 minutes, just give us an insight of how all of these have been made simple by partnership with CCI. Mr. Emmanuel, are you there? 3 minutes. Are you there, Mr. Emmanuel?
Yes, I am. Thank you. So
okay, over to you. 3 minutes, please.
I want to appreciate Dr. and Mr. John for their wonderful presentation. Great information value was, of course, gotten. But I want to bring this together to CCI traders. Where is CCI traders in the middle of all these things? Now, this is a very quick one. What CCI traders have done is to simplify the whole process, to harmonize the whole process. Like if you listen carefully to Doc and Mr. John, you will find the processes that it takes for you to buy a physical asset, for you to trade gold, for you to buy gold, and for you to sell gold, and of course to make profit. So, but what CCI traders have done is that they have their own trading house, a company that is under CCI traders, is registered and licensed to trade these commodities, especially for the Nigerian clients. So the company is Cashville Securities and Exchange, Securities and Investment Limited, Cashville Securities and Exchange. Sorry, Cashville Securities and Investment Limited. So it is a company that is under CCI traders, more like a trading house that is licensed to trade these local assets. Because before now, the services CCI traders can offer you is the services that will allow you to trade foreign assets. That is when you talk of your Forex, when you talk of oil, and even gold. That is not real gold, golds that are traded on the exchange, on the internet. Okay, but what this new innovation CCI traders have brought is that through CCI traders, and of course through like a subsidiary of CCI traders, that is Cashville Investment and Limited, you can be able to buy gold and you can be able to sell it, of course, through the Lagos Commodities and Exchange Commission. So if you listened to Doc, you will see the processes, the documentation, and all that. So these certifications have been granted to Cashville Investment Limited. So with them, you don't need to worry about this certification, where to go. Just come to CCI traders, and CCI traders will execute your orders through their trading house called Cashville Investment Limited. So what CCI traders have done is to simplify the process and harmonize everything, giving it to you on a platter of gold. So however you want it, CCI traders have got you covered. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for that expose. Thank you for making that simple. Mr. Emmanuel basically letting us know that you can participate in the buying of gold, trading on gold through CCI partnership with the Cashville. Oh, congratulations to everyone who is on this call for these opportunities that have been presented to us tonight. What an amazing opportunity. Wow. Okay, so right away, we're going to the questions right away. I'd like to read out some of these questions. Okay, if you have questions, I am seeing just a few of them. Somebody is asking Galaxy A20. Okay, Galaxy A20, you're requesting to be unmuted, so you have a couple of questions. Okay, so we'll be unmuted in the next 1 to 2 minutes later, so you can quickly run through your questions. Right? Quickly run through your questions. You'll be unmuted.
Good evening, everyone. You have unmuted.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity.
You're
okay,
welcome.
So I want to ask, it's a very fantastic opportunity. I have an account with CCI Traders, but I want to introduce it to my cooperative at work. I don't know how, in terms of this gold opportunity, I don't know the process of how they can, be told about it. Maybe there will be a session that they can join, and I think they'll be very much interested. So that's what I want to ask. I see that there's a process, and they are also registered with the Lagos State Cooperative. There's a process to their registration. So I think they can get to also invest as well. It looks like a very good one that cooperative can take part of. So I want to find out how I can get to do the linking somehow. So it could help us as well. Yes. So that's my question.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay, so
sorry, I also asked the question on the price, but I think it was answered by Dr. Orwell saying 45,200 for 1 gram. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think yes.
Hello, MC, please.
Okay, go ahead. Let Dr. Orwell go ahead and respond. Doctor, sir.
Let me say this because the 45,200 that I said is not that is a constant price. Just like any other commodity, the price moves up or down sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes. So as at what I'm saying is that as at early this week, mid this week, it was trading at 45,200 per gram.
Okay.
So you might come on Monday and we trade at maybe 46 or thereabout.
No, it's clear. I understand the fluctuations. That's clear to me. I'm a trader as well, so I understand. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, so the other question that you asked that as per how you need to introduce it to your community, to your cooperative. Okay, I'm sure I would like to confirm, I'm sure you were invited. Maybe can you get across to us so that we can get, because some things will be required of you. Some questions will be asked of you, and then some other information will be required of you so that we know how we can go along helping you with that. I hope that's clear. Can you get across to us after the meeting?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm on the group. I'm on the WhatsApp group. It's fine.
Okay, great. So you can throw that question in the group. So I'm sure we'll be able to answer that question there, because there are some questions you will need to answer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So the next, is there any other question on the group?
Okay.
Any other question?
Let me do a follow-up to her question. For the benefit of others who may have a similar situation, if there is a cooperative or an organization that you think might be interested in our business model and what CCI Traders is doing, we can even conduct a kind of meeting with them on Zoom, a conference, and whatever that is required to give them the right information and education about what CCI Traders is doing, so that they can come on board just like you have come on board. Because I believe if the business is not profitable and if it's not favoring you, there's no way you'll be thinking of recommending your contacts. So CCI Traders is very open to that, and we can have a lot of collaboration and ways to make that happen.
All right, it's fine. Thank you.
All right, that's a great one. That's a good response in there. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Okay, so just in case for those of us who are on this call and are not in the WhatsApp group, the invite details of the WhatsApp group have been shared on the message on the chat box. You can go ahead and then join through that chat box. You can go ahead and join the WhatsApp group so that you can have some more questions, maybe some consigns thereafter or hereafter. All right, so I would like to find out any more questions, as we come to the conclusion of this amazing meeting. It's been an amazing time. It's been an awesome time. It's been a time of information. It's been a time of education. It's been a time of expose into this opportunity that is amazing. Not many know about it, just a few, and then you happen to be among the first who's getting to know about it. This partnership through the CCI and extending it to the Lagos Commodity and Futures Exchange. Thank you so much. In the absence of any other question, in case you have any more questions thereafter, you can go ahead and send it, join that WhatsApp group right now, and then go ahead and then drop your questions there. If after now some questions come to your mind or something, some concerns, you can go ahead and drop them there. I want to especially thank everyone for creating that opportunity, creating that time, taking out of your time to be part of this meeting tonight. I want to especially thank you. Thank you, our guest speakers. Thank you, Dr. Allwell. Thank you for gracing our meeting tonight. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you, Mr. Manuel, and all the speakers. Thank you so much. And all those who have participated in this meeting, I want to especially thank you. Thank you. for being a part of this meeting tonight. And we look forward to having you in a greater measure, or having you refer us to others. Like Mr. Emmanuel said, we can have them in a group and talk to them and address them, and then give them the information they require, and then also have them to ask the questions that may be in their hearts. So you can go ahead and reach out to us through our different platforms, especially our WhatsApp there is there. Like I said, the link is there, you can join. So thank you so much. Once again, my name is Mr. Dominic Obuagu. Thank you for having you here with us tonight. I want to thank, a special thanks to the CCI team, who has been an amazing team. It's been an amazing team putting all of this together to ensure that our people get insights, our people get educated, our people get understanding of the opportunities available to them without so much stress. Thank you. And at this time, we're going to call it a day. We'll see you next time. We'll be having another meeting soon, and we'll be getting the information. And make sure you join us, and make sure you get others to join us. Thank you so much, everyone. Do have a wonderful, wonderful night, and happy independence for those in Nigeria, and happy new moon to everybody. Have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.